guys, welcome to Know Gimmicks. We're hot off Monday Night Raw, man. I'm gonna introduce myself, Brady, along with Phil here, and my best, JT, over on the other side. Hey man, Monday Night Raw was too hot not to talk about immediately, so we're gonna jump right on in. Last night was awesome, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I was
Yeah.
on the edge of my seat for the majority of the show. I know that the main event there was mixed opinions, but dude, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. There was a lot of again mixed reviews on the interwebs from the ICW, but at the end of the day, half of the people got what they wanted, and the other half are pissed off. I'm of the pissed off half. So yeah,
Well, we're two halves of a whole idiot for a reason then.
yeah. Well, man, again, I know we just talked to you guys on Sunday, but it's too much. And with WrestleMania season coming on, we're probably going to start recording more than one episode a week just because of the overload of content that we're going to be getting. Um, so anyway, man, I guess how you doing? Like, you had a great day. What's been going on?
Like you said, coming hot off the rip of that awesome record with Papa Gimmicks. Business as usual at work, and that's something that I find so funny. Work's I'm not gonna say work's slow right now, but in the scheme of things, after the first of the year in January, work is super busy because we're kicking off, and then it seems like we're starting to hit our lull at work. But WrestleMania is coming, so I'm a buzz. Like
Yeah.
to quote my boss, I am a whole ass vibe, as the children would say, end quote. So it's I go to work, I do my job, but I'm spun up. I'd be lying if I said I'm like super heavy engaged at work when we spend an hour today building Venn diagrams, overlaying soup, smoothies, and sauces because I came up with the thought that cereal is soup and pissed off everybody in my office. So that's how my day went today. Kind of weird. So, what about you, Mr. Big Man, working your fancy big boy job?
Yeah, man. Just still kind of getting adjusted to the stay-at-home work
Mhm.
situation. Man, I'm loving it. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's fantastic. I have a newfound energy for when I clock out to do more things. This evening, today's my son's birthday, by the way. Um, and he just turned 7, and the boy wanted a hamburger. So, man, we were able to, go into town and drink a beer and ate a hamburger with him. So,
Oh,
well,
he
he didn't
drank a
drink a
beer at
beer.
7?
He didn't drink a beer. I drank a beer in his honor. So, yeah. Anyway, no, yeah. Like I said, just getting adjusted to that stay-at-home situation. But again, not dealing with people has been phenomenal.
So
Not gonna
jealous.
lie.
So jealous.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, man. So Monday Night Raw started off last night, Madison Square Garden in New York, and that's the only I see I was under the impression they had a lot more Monday Night Raws at Madison Square Garden, but last night they said they'd only had 15. That's wild. Um but they, obviously they've ran a ton of events, but yeah, it was the
Yeah.
15th episode of Monday Night Raw. Crowd was ecstatic. They said it was like 19,000 people there last night, which
Whoa,
is
whoa, whoa, whoa. It was 17, then it was 19, then it was 17, and then it was 20.
hey
Look,
man, the salesman in me go with the highest number. That's just what it is. Yeah. So
so it's a good
um
thing you don't do that job anymore.
yeah. Hey man. No, yeah. Hot crowd. They obviously kicked it off with Jay running the crowd, doing the yeet. I am so excited that they did not let that roll for 8 minutes. Like,
Yo,
I'm glad.
I gotta say, so I don't know anymore. Because on one hand, we talk about a lot of people talking about how upset they were with Jay winning the Rumble. And then you got people who think that Jay's not it and they're pissed off, but yet they keep watching. And then you watch Madison Square Garden, the hottest place in the world, baby. Dusty Rhodes rolling in that mug against Superstar. They talk about that day after day, year after year, baby. And you get 19, 20,000 people yeeting. There's videos of people watching him at Braun Breaker arriving together in a Jeep Grand Wagoneer, and they're out there screaming his song, yeeting, as he's walking in.
Yep.
But Jey
Yep.
Uso wasn't the right pick.
Here's the deal. I'm not against Jey Uso. I think he's the right pick. I do. But when you have the same shtick week after week after week after week, the in-home, and we've talked about this before, the in-home audience gets burnt out. Like, if you're in that crowd, you have the energy. When we were in that crowd of Monday Night Raw, dude, I had the energy. I could have yeeted for 12 minutes and been just fine. You know what I mean? But when I'm sitting at home on the couch watching Monday Night Raw, I'm like, let's just fucking go. Like, let's move it the fuck along. I don't need to yeet. All right. Let's yeet for 30 seconds. Move on. Kind of what we got last night. So, finally, I didn't know that his match was going to be with Grayson Waller. I had
Yeah.
no idea. If I looked it up, maybe, but I didn't. I was just went on. I haven't
Yes.
really.
Instant gratification Brady. Here at it again. I had no
Yeah.
idea either till I tuned in.
Yeah. So, um, the match was okay. I mean, there was
I
nothing to
think,
complain about.
yeah, I mean, I think that was a good call for a curtain jerk, right? The audience is hot. You don't need a match to get them hot when they're already hot when it's opening and you have Jey Uso. But at the end of the day, this was just, they said it last night, yesterday, Monday Night Raw, 40 days out from WrestleMania. I don't know that I can watch Gunther continuously choke out Jey Uso. Spoiler alert. Jey wins, and then Jey gets jumped by Theory, but Jey's making a comeback even against the numbers game. But Gunther comes out and puts him to sleep. Now again, I don't know that I can watch that for 5 weeks. So I'm hoping they do something different, and I would like to think that this A-Town Down Under scheme's not going to float into WrestleMania and cause any problems with the match. But I think it is good enough to keep Jey relevant and on screen till we get to Mania. Because to your point, what's left for Jey Uso right now other than waiting? And I don't know why WWE gapped out these pay-per-views and these storylines the way they did right now. Some of them are coming to fruition, some of them are coming around. But the Royal Rumble winners, like even this Friday, how much more can I deal with Charlotte Flair talking shit or coming in and assaulting Tiffy? I just can't. So I think we're going to see a face turn here. The faces are going to get a chance to whoop up, and they might trade blows week to week. But they just got to be careful because if they're not, we're going to get bored of this. It's going to turn into Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. As much as you love CM Punk, you hated seeing Drew McIntyre. And it got to the
Oh
point,
God.
it's like, why do we got another Drew and CM Punk match? Now you got to add gimmicks. Now you got to do this other shit to keep me entertained. So
Yeah.
I just hope that doesn't happen in the next 5 weeks.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Like, the gap. I think the explanation for the gap is because they're going across the pond. Like, they're doing live shows, they're doing Monday Night Raw, they're doing everything to fulfill the needs over there. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough to watch Jay and Gunther. The build has, we have the match, and it's taken too long to get there. That's it. I mean, um, Royal Rumble, I love it, but I don't. I guess last year I don't recall it feeling like it took this long
Right.
from the Rumble to Mania, just because there was so much more going on than what we have right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, but I mean, thing about it right now though is the hotness is on SmackDown. Well, was on SmackDown, but now we're getting Cody and John bleeding into Raw, so it's. But nonetheless, hey, keep it entertaining. Keep Gunther and Jay in our minds, but don't burn it out. Um,
Yeah.
And I will say after that, they showed backstage, and now the Alpha Academy's kind of getting involved. They're going to watch Jay's back, so I'm guessing we're going to get a Alpha Academy and A Town Down Under as the second match on night 1 or 2. Maybe. I,
Maybe.
am I upset about it? No, but do I think it rates? They better
I
do
don't
something
need a
good.
tag team filler match at WrestleMania. I don't, and that's what that would be. Sorry.
Well, that goes back to the 2 night problem. Back when WrestleMania was a 1 day event, and
You
you know,
have so much talent. There don't have to be filler matches. Zero filler matches at WrestleMania.
well, that's the thing though,
So
is like you say the term filler match. You can call it that, but like I said on one of our previous podcasts, you got to take a piss some point. You got to go
yeah,
get the tray of nachos.
yeah,
And if I'm gonna do it,
it
hate to
needs to
tell you,
be. Yeah,
I mean, even I used to be a very avid smoker. At WrestleMania 27, I missed most of the Trish Stratus match because I went out to smoke. I had
yeah.
like in fiending, going to get beer, going to get nachos or whatever. Uh, a Raw at 2.5 hours. I think I left my seat once during the actual show,
Right,
but something like WrestleMania that's hours long, you know, what again back when it was 1 night, I could see not having as a filler match, but now that it's 2 nights, you have to choose appropriate times for everyone. Because even us watching on Peacock, we got to get up and go. But we have the advantage of knowing when they're at commercial break and when nothing's going to happen,
right.
or commercial or whatever they're calling it now. I
Anyway,
digress.
so yeah, after the Gunther and Jay altercation that we got,
We got your favorite guy. We got Logan Paul, baby. Your
yeah,
guy.
Logan Paul out there fucking flapping his gums, and then he involved one of the new Netflix stars. I don't know who he is, don't know his name, don't know what show he's from, but he's from Netflix. He's doing some type of
Andrew
series with
Scholes.
that. Andrew Scholes.
Yeah.
Okay, what is he doing? Like, what's his show? Don't know.
He's
Don't
a
know.
stand-up comedian.
Okay,
I
got
believe.
it.
But yeah, I will tip my hat to Logan Paul though. Say it, Dwayne, The Rock, whatever we're calling you, consider my soul for sale. I'll give him that one.
Uh,
You telling me I could sell my soul and be a champion? Done.
yeah. Well, I can't listen to Logan Paul, dude. I have such a hard time. So he gets the Schultz guy in the ring, starts whooping his ass, oh whatever. Then you get AJ Styles come out here. That's obviously setting up AJ versus Logan for Mania. So I think that's going to be. I mean, in ring ability, dude, that's going to be great. I think they're going to put on a banger match. Do I hate Logan Paul as a human? Yes. Do I think that he can wrestle? Yeah, I do. And I think him and AJ will put on a clinic
Yeah.
as long as the time allows. That's the thing. If they go out there and they got 8 minutes, give them 10, 15. I think that they're going to be able to keep the crowd happy.
So we both have emphasized our disdain, or not. I don't want to call it disdain. I don't think it's that deep for Logan Paul. I buy off on the if you don't like someone and they're a heel, they're doing their job. But I think for me, and again, this is where it's so unique at this point in time as a wrestling fan. We're somewhat wrestling purists, and watching somebody like Logan Paul come in and essentially get the key to the kingdom. And again, you're absolutely right. I can't take anything away from his athleticism or in-ring ability, but it's hard. That US title run where he beat Rey Mysterio, took the title. There were some entertaining moments in it, but at the same time, that legitimate fear we had that he was going to beat Roman. And I don't give a shit what anyone says. I don't care who's going to call into the show and say something about it. There was a fear that Logan Paul was going to beat Roman Reigns. I don't give a shit what anyone says. If you're telling me that you never once had that thought, you're a damn liar. Your feet stink and you don't love Jesus. You're damn worried about it. We all did because of a big name that he was and the attention it would draw.
Right.
So I want to like Logan Paul, and I don't know if it's just legitimately he's so good at being a heel that I can't. I'm torn. I guess it's easy to hate him, and I guess that's why he's a great heel because he's just that easy to hate for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, AJ comes out there and he puts the whoop on, and I was really surprised that Logan Paul just kind of walked away. Like he called him out ish. You know, he wanted him to get back in the ring so he can beat his ass, and then Logan Paul just kept walking, which was kind of. I figured he'd have done some other sneaky, shady shit.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of sneaky, shady shit, your boys, the New Day, were after that against Ray and Dragon Lee in one of my favorite matches, a tornado tag match. I love the resurgence of the tornado tag.
It's so much fun. I mean, really, it is. Um,
It takes
I've.
certain people to pull it off, though.
I mean, it does. It's like a triple threat. Like you need the right talent to make that shit work. You really do. They had a good match. It was fun. It was a tornado tag, man. It was just a tag match.
I am a sucker. All right, so here's where I go against a lot of wrestling fans. I don't have to have a table. I don't know what this magic allure is with the "We want tables" chant. I'm here for it. I'm not against it, but I don't get a hype when somebody pulls out a table. I'm like, oh look, another spot. I just assume you hit them old school chair shots, you know. But I absolutely love the New Day just like shoving tables, but like when the heel shoves the tables back under the ring just to piss the crowd off. That shit makes me giggle every time. It's like telling a fart joke to a third grader. I'm gonna giggle every time it happens.
uh,
Call me, hey, I own it.
yeah.
But this masked luchador that appears out of nowhere
Okay.
with a thank you.
And then, later on in the show, I'm not gonna keep going. What me? I don't know who the fuck that was.
I mean,
Like, yeah.
it worked for
I,
Owen Hart.
yeah. Well, I I thought that was great. I love Chad Gable. I do. I
I do
think
too.
so. I think anything that he does is gonna turn to gold.
The only thing Chad Gable doesn't have going for him is his size. If he was another 4 or 5 inches taller with that athleticism and that he'd be a world champion next week.
He'd be Kurt Angle, bro. He'd be the local or the new era Kurt Angle.
Yep.
So, but yeah, what was after? Did we have the EO and is there?
Uh, again, the New Day got the win. The New
Yeah, yeah.
Day, I guess, is their new name. I don't know. Uh, so then we cut to the back, and it's the Judgment Day segment. A
Oh
little
yeah.
awkward. Dom got Finn a match against Braun Breaker next week,
Next week.
and Finn was happy with it. Okay, but I mean the creepy vibe. What the fuck is Carlito doing? Legitimate extra. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man! I was so excited when you came back, and he's a goon.
Yep. That's it. I mean,
He's a stooge.
what else is he gonna do though? Like, is he gonna go have an IC,
I mean,
title run? Who knows? But that's
what's the
all
last
he's
time Carlito
literally
had a
gonna.
singles match that
I
we've
don't think
seen
he.
on television?
I don't think he has this run.
Like, it's been like as soon as he linked up with the Judgment Day,
I don't even know the reason he came back. It was during Los Guerrero. Was it Los? Not Los
whoa,
Guerreros.
that's a throwback.
LWO
Yeah,
when they were in.
when they were on SmackDown,
Yeah, but where did they go? Puerto
Puerto
Rico.
Rico.
Puerto Rico. Yeah, he came back to be a part of that little faction,
Yeah.
and then he joined up with the Judgment Day, Los Guerreros. Where did I come up with that?
This
Yeah,
was your idea to record tonight. You sure you don't need a nap, bro?
yeah. So yeah, all right.
well, that led us to Cody Rhodes, the WWE Universal Champion, on Monday Night Raw.
He cut an okay promo.
The problem with a Cody Rhodes promo is you always expect greatness. I'm
Yep.
not saying it wasn't. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm not saying it was good. But when the Universal Champion crosses deck and starts talking about Big Match John and all this shit going on, it just seems like there wasn't a lot of payoff.
I don't know. I like the chance that we were getting was let's go Cena. Cena sucks. That brought it back. Like
Yeah,
I love
but again, right?
that
Like
chant.
now, so we know what happened. There was probably a dark match or something with Cody additional, but
Yeah.
I would never be upset with seeing Cody Rhodes live. But again, it was like, okay, this couldn't wait. Like,
Well, it was Madison Square Garden. You're not going to have you're not going to have Raw or SmackDown at Madison Square Garden without Cody there. That's
yeah,
just the truth.
but again, like, okay, Cody's here.
Yeah.
He's gonna fight John Cena. We already knew this.
Yeah.
It
It
just
would have
kind of
been interesting.
it
It would
fell
have been
flat for
interesting.
me.
It would have been interesting if The Rock would have shown up.
So what I thought was going to happen is we were going to get Rock or Cena on the screen. Kind
Yeah.
of like, so when they were in Philly, I thought we were going to get something like the Rock or Cena down the street and Cody go chasing after him and get jumped, or goddamn, where's Scooby Doo? Scooby Doo, where are you? Leave clues and shit to fuck with Cody. Something
Yeah.
to get the mind games going to buy interest. And like I said, I'm not mad. It's Cody on my screen. It's Cody at Madison Square Garden. But then it's like, haha, he said John Cena's phrase. He's going to get some. Haha.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want some? Come get some. Move on.
Yep. And then I don't know how this match really kind of came into existence, but Bailey versus Raquel. Not mad, but
No story. There was
well, so
nothing there.
well again, I think it's just one of those. We're 40 days out from Mania, and we still got to make a 2.5 hour show,
Yeah.
and we have to keep Raquel and Liv somewhat relevant, but we can't have them defending the titles every week. Again, I'm not going to call it a miss. I don't know what seeds have been planted.
Liv is beat the fuck up. I doubt she's going to be doing any in-ring competition, probably at least until next week after. But dude, that chamber match really tore her up. So I don't know. We'll see. It was fun. I mean,
I mean,
anytime you get Bailey
Raquel got
going,
a dirty win. That's the MO. I mean, it keeps the flavor alive, I guess.
keeps the gimmick alive. That's like anytime you get Bailey in the ring, though, it's going to be a decent match.
Yeah, I mean, I still Raquel was getting hot before she left, and then she poofed, and then came back, and I still feel like she hasn't got back to where she was.
The problem is, man, when you come back and you have been gone for a significant amount of time, like she was, and then you get thrown into a faction, you're not getting the star power. You're not getting the
Sure.
spotlight. That's a thing.
Well,
It's
so and
it,
that's
it
the thing
draws you back
about
to. Go ahead.
Raquel didn't. So she's doing the heel thing, but it's like she wants to be the muscle for Liv, but at the same time, she's not, because she spends just as much time quivering, cowering, and doing dirty heel shit. Like when China was out there with DX, she was the muscle for DX, which is weird, but like she would do dirty shit, but it's like it wasn't like she was cowardly about it. So that's what retained that muscle. And it's almost like Raquel doesn't quite hit that believability of being dangerous.
Get her away from Liv, and that'll change. That's just the truth. I mean, she's behind Liv's shadow And once you are able to separate them, which I'm sure that's going to lead to a feud, it will eventually. You know, um, once you do that, I think she's going to start shining again. I mean, that's just my opinion. And I think
Yeah,
she will.
I mean that's
So
that sounds like the logical thing. It's just I want to believe that when it happens.
yeah,
And Raquel, in my eyes, hasn't shown that. I, and again, if we have to believe that, and my thing about that is like it almost needs to be somewhat of a squash if that's going to happen to make me believe in her again. You know, and when I say almost a squash, like she just whoops Liv's ass, but Liv does dirty lowdown tactics, gets the 2.5, 2 3/4 count, and Raquel comes back. But I'm still as Judgment Day as a whole. Like I'm curious and confused because again, this Finn and Dom dynamic, and then it's like Finn's seemingly kind of happy with Dom right now because of the Intercontinental title match. Uh, Dom keeps wanting a new member. He keeps bringing that up. So, I mean, I don't, and I say this with respect, I don't want the Judgment Day to become a Bullet Club. I don't need or want the Judgment Day around forever.
no, I thought that they needed to go since WrestleMania of last year.
Yeah.
Like I've thought that tag team has ran its course. Like move on. We've got other things that we could be doing. So again, they dropped another Balor or Demon Balor hint last night. I don't know if you caught it, but it was there. So we'll see. What does that bring us to?
That brings us to the Io Sky interview.
With Bianca, and here's the deal. Here's the deal with this, man. This is all, in my opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Okay, I'll shut up.
Go ahead.
I think the angle was so Bianca could get the belt without having to pin Rhea. That's just the truth. So Io has the belt. It's going to be Io versus Bianca, unless they let Rhea in with a triple threat. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this, but here's my thing. If Becky was going to show back up at any given amount of time, this is the time. Like last night was the time. And then
Yeah,
Rhea
I
came
agree
back.
with that.
I mean, that's I don't see Becky coming for anything else at this point. Like there's nothing left for WrestleMania this year for Bex. So after tonight, after this podcast, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. That's just the truth. What else is there to do? Tell me.
I want this put on record. I want it put on
Put it
record
on
that you're not
record.
going to talk about Becky anymore.
All right. I'm not going to talk. I wore the shirt. All right. This is the last podcast until after WrestleMania that we're not talking about Becky because unless she shows. If she shows up,
I mean,
that's
that's
different.
obvious. But
But
look, I
there
this is me. I I still believe that there's unfinished business with Bianca and Jade.
is 100%.
I still like to believe that Bianca was the mastermind and Jade's gonna come for Bianca. So I don't want to see Rhea put back in the title picture right now, but I over the next 39 days, I want to see Jade like and then, come night 1 of Mania or night 2 or night 1, there's something somehow some way that Jade figures out that Bianca was behind it and Jade screws Bianca and now we get a Bianca and Jade feud.
And I would love it.
Yeah.
Dude, could you imagine Jade and Bianca? That's two powerhouses just
Sure.
that they're going to tear it down.
Well, and
I
then
mean,
that so that brings us back to Io and Rhea. That would
Hmm.
build up to the next, and maybe Rhea takes the belt, whatever. That can go its course. But since this is the last podcast, we'll talk about Becky Lynch. Kind of going off something like you said, right? Uh, the US or Intercontinental for the women's. WrestleMania comes and goes, and both champions retain, and they're like, "What's left for me? Who's left that I haven't beat?" And now you kind of have that Becky, like she did when she went back down to NXT.
Yeah.
Now you have Becky coming back,
Yeah.
and
I mean, that could happen the night after Mania. I mean,
exactly, and
it
that's the
could.
thing is that there was this mysterious thing that happened within the past decade where the Raw after Mania got wild,
Yeah.
and then that's kind of went
Fizzled out.
downhill. So what
Yep.
better way, right? You restart the Rhea and Io feud. You get a Becky Lynch for one of those mid card titles. You know, I mean, hell, right then and there, you get the Bianca and Jade on the SmackDown after Mania, or however that kind of rolls around. Um, Speaking of however things roll around, because the next thing we've already busted through this, we're about to hit the main event, and that's where a lot of the key talking points is. But I think we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the filming schedule for the next 3 weeks.
Uh, okay, I understand it. Across the pond needs their Raws. I understand. But damn it, dude, if it's not going to be shown at 2 o'clock in our time, like, come on, man. Like, right in the middle of the fucking workday.
I mean, that's how
And
they've been feeling across the pond for years.
I mean, I get it, but, and I've said it before, and WWE is in the USA, brother. Like, I'm not sitting there watching Saudi Arabia wrestling at fucking 2 in the morning. Like, I'm just not. I don't
Because
watch
there's
New
not a
Japan.
product.
I don't watch New Japan whenever it's on at midnight. Like, you know what I mean? That's theirs. This is ours. And I know that that sounds selfish of me, but okay, I get it. I'm going to be sitting right here in my chair at home, and I'm going to have Netflix turned on with the volume all the way down, with closed captions on, watching Monday Night Raw or Monday Day Raw on for the
I,
next 3 weeks.
I,
Like,
I'm not
I
mad
guess
about it.
that's the beauty of Netflix. I guess we're gonna be able to go in and watch it at our convenience without the worry of DVRs fucking up. My problem is if I'm not sitting there watching it, I'm immediately going to go to the internet and see what happens. And that is my fault, my bad. I can't help it. Like I need to know. We're this close to WrestleMania, dude. And if something's happening, I want to know.
I hear you, man. I mean, from from an adult grown person standpoint, I'm not offended by it. It doesn't bother me. I mean, all this is going to mean for me, right, is I'm going to get to come home. I'm going to put it on. Well, I'm going to come home, decompress, shower, whatever nightly routine, and hell, I might be able to watch Raw before I start cooking supper. I'm going to get to go to bed at a decent hour. Not saying that like Raw ending for us here on Central Time at 10 o'clock late because I grew up on the East Coast. In school, I was watching Raw till 11:05, and we all know that was a damn lie. It went to 11:15, you
Yeah.
know. And then by the time you get ready for bed, hit the sack, it's 11:30, 11:45 at night. Henceforth, why I only have a high school diploma, probably. But uh, um, I I don't see a big again. The only downside to it is I might run across some spoilers. But I mean, bro, think about it. Like you, we could come home and just like we did the Rumble, we could live stream or watch Raw together.
Yeah. I mean,
And
we
and
could.
again, right? And it's not fucking with your family's time. Instead of having to stop, go put kids to bed, or go make dinner and all that, we might be able to come home and just rip it.
Yeah.
Or,
It'd be done.
I mean, for what it's worth, we could wait till Tuesday. You couldn't. I could.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm with you. I guess I need to drop back a little bit. I'm not mad. Like, it's not affecting me at all. Like,
Yeah.
it's not causing me grief. It's not doing anything that's gonna change my daily life. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just I want to watch Monday Night Raw live when it's happening. That's it. And
So
it's gonna be hard for the next 3 weeks.
a little peek behind the curtain here. Uh, because we're poor and dirt cheap and we don't have money for podcasts, this is done via screen record. And one of my buddies that watches wrestling from work is like messaging me, and it just came across, do you think Gunther's going to drop the title? I was like, so you'll probably see that on the screen record because it went right in front of Phil.
Oh, nah, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm just swiping that. But anyway, you know, I think it's fun for us in the United States to give credence and give time back to the other, just like when they did Clash at the Castle, and somebody fell asleep. Not I'm ever going to let you live that down.
No, you stupid. It's not Clash of the Castle. I fell asleep in the Elimination Chamber
Oh yeah.
because
Either
that was
way,
at 4 a.m.
yeah,
No, not.
yeah, whatever. You fell asleep. You didn't make it.
I did not make it.
You
It was
stupid
like
idiot.
it was you just made the list. Yeah.
Careful, we don't talk about that show on this podcast.
No.
But yeah, the cool part about that though is, and we talked about this in one of our very first podcasts, and you've been very adamant about it, right? The Across the Pond crew, they get hyped for some damn WWE
Oh,
wrestling, for
they
wrestling,
do.
period. So I think it's
Yeah.
going to be really fun over the next 3 weeks leading up to WrestleMania to get these hot ass crowds. Because what I noticed, you remember watching AJ Styles entrance and the cameras are shaking because the crowd was singing
Yeah.
along. I think that's going to energize the US crowds right in time for Mania. And I think they're gonna let Vegas have it.
I love it. I think that's going to be fantastic. They're going to get Cody and Cena next week, dude. And I don't think that they're going to get an appearance from The Rock. I don't. But they might get some cameos on screen. Um,
Rock's got a lot of money and he's the final boss.
yeah, Rock could probably be there in 2.5 hours with the jet he has. So anyway, moving on, I guess, to the main event, the steel cage match with Seth Rollins and CM Punk. I know. Here's the deal. I know that you hate the false finishes more than anything on the planet. I get it. It's not that I agree with it, but the excitement of me knowing that the 3 is about to happen and then it not, and I'm like, fuck, it makes me, it gives me something to look forward to, I guess.
Do it another way. Do it another fucking way. Hit him with a fucking toolbox.
Yeah. Well, he hit him with the toolbox and the internet cried because he injured Drew McIntyre.
They have insurance. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and I get it. It's a steel cage, so the chances of getting folded objects are a little hard. But like, I don't need you weakening a finish. The GTS in my mind now means nothing.
It should be a one-hit kill. Boom.
The
The curb
stomp,
stomp, one-hit kill.
the
Boom.
super stomp.
One hit.
Now
Boom. And
again,
then
there's a time and place. Your Brock Lesnar's, Braun Strowman's, Jacob Fatu. Again, we talked about it last week. Jacob Fatu going through that table. He didn't spring up. He didn't kick out, which it wasn't a pin anyway. But the way he got up and the way he sold Al that hurt, and that would have killed anybody else, but I'm still standing. Uh-oh, you lost your camera.
oh no.
You went sideways.
Uh
Hell yeah.
no.
Yeah, that's going to buff out.
Hang on. Is it better?
Nope.
No.
Nope. You broke it.
Fuck.
Oh, well, fuck it.
I can't.
Well, I mean, Phil doesn't have
Boom.
much. There we go. All right.
All
But
right.
anyway, again, there's something to it. There's something the way he did that, and you can't. It just cheapens it and waters it down. And again, I hear you. The close threes, and that's it. And again, maybe it's just a turn of the tide in wrestling to that point, right? Like when somebody kicks out of the tombstone, that means something.
Yeah.
The Dudleys protected the 3D forever. You know, even the stunner to an extent. Like Big Show had to take multiple for your big matches and finishes. It took 2 or 3 stunners, but like, and I understand this is Monday Night Raw. This is Rollins and Punk in a steel cage at MSG, but it's like, well, what do they do now?
Yeah.
How do
How
you
many
think?
GTSs and curb stomps can you take? Like at the end of the day. So, and they could have cut that match 5 minutes, and Roman could have shown up 5 minutes earlier and dragged Seth out of the cage after 2 GTSs. Done. And I would have been happy. So, uh,
I in that super stomp. I wish he'd have come out and snatched his ass off the top rope before the super stomp hit. That would have been better for me.
so I put my head down just then thinking about how that match ended and how frustrated I am. And we talked about this on Sunday, and essentially I was I get it. It's not about CM Punk at this point for me. It's about not having Roman Reigns in that match. That's all it is. Roman Reigns does not belong in that match, in my opinion. There's going to be so many other people that disagree. Everybody wants a Seth and Roman feud. I get it. He does not belong in that match for me.
Do they?
I think it would be fun if they had a 3 to 4 month build. I do. So when they did that Royal Rumble main event, that was fucking gold. I loved it. It made my hair stand up when Seth came out to the Shield music. If they could do a 3 to 4 month build and it be for the title or it means something and Seth go over, that would be fucking fantastic for me. I don't
So
need. Go ahead.
at this point, I would rather have Punk and Roman than Roman and Seth.
I don't need someone telling me that fucking Roman's better than Punk every day, all day for the next fucking 2 years. I don't need that in my life. And you know what I'm going to get?
Until we get Paul Heyman on a pole match and then CM Punk claims his wise man back.
So I don't know if you caught it, but Paul Heyman was in there picking up CM Punk
Saw it.
off the mat. And then Roman looked at him like, what the fuck is you doing up
Yeah.
and in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that tells you right there what this match is going to be at Mania.
It's going to be Punk calling in his favor, and he wants Roman's ass.
He wants Roman's ass, yeah, but why are we calling in a favor for that?
Because
Why are
he's
we
the
calling?
tribal chief. The
Why
tribal
are we?
chief is untouchable.
Why are we calling in a favor for a fucking title, bro? My opinion.
Because Paul Heyman has no sway over a title right now.
But he will.
Are you
I
implying
mean,
Roman Reigns is getting a title back?
absolutely, he's getting a fucking title back. He's gonna get the World Heavyweight Championship, bro. No shot, he's not. And I bet I'm willing to bet money he has that fucking thing by SummerSlam. Jey Uso's gonna fucking win. And then where is it going from there, bro?
So you're calling a full-fledged Roman Reigns to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, why not?
And we're going to get Roman Reigns and main event Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship.
At SummerSlam. I think
At
that's
SummerSlam, you're just going to take that. So you think Jay's going to hold it that long?
maybe not. I don't see Jey. I don't know because there's Money in the Bank. There's what else is in between there? What's after Mania?
Well,
Backlash.
so again, like, regardless, right? Keeping the main thing here is like, I'm going to go back and say what I said on Sunday. I don't fucking need Roman Reigns. Now
I
again,
know.
did I not tell you that there was no shot fucking CM Punk was going to a title? And I'm telling you right now, you said Punk and fucking Roman are going to main event. Ain't happening. It ain't
Well,
happening.
it looks like it's happening, but in a triple threat.
They won't main event. And if they do main event, this goes back to what I lost my shit about, and it has cheapened the Royal Rumble, and the Royal Rumble means shit.
I will 100% guarantee you, and this is me, and I'm willing to lay money on the line, that they're not going to have Roman Reigns in a match at WrestleMania and it not main event. They're just not. And that's I know
But
what you're going to say.
put a pin in that, because off camera, I got something for that ass. You want to put
Off
money
camera.
on it? I got something for you.
All right.
I got something for you.
I think that obviously night 2 is John Cena and Cody, and that's when The Rock's going to show up, all this, that, and the other. They're not going to put the World Heavyweight Championship on last at night 1. That's just. Do I think they should? Yeah, I do. Do I think that's going to happen because it's Roman? No. I'm not even saying, like, if it were Seth and Punk, I think that would be a fucking curtain jerk because it's going to immediately ramp that crowd up. Immediately make that fucking crowd fire. That's not going to happen, bro. I think it's going to be
I
Jay
hope
and
it's
fucking
match
Jimmy.
2, night 1.
Oh man. Okay, let me ask you this, and I know this is just a dumb question, but are you going to be that guy who says, "I'm fucking turning that shit off"?
No, I have never been that guy, and I don't claim to be.
Yeah. I was that guy. Whenever I'm, battling back and forth with Roach, anytime Roman came on, I'm gonna turn that shit off. Fuck that. And
I
he's the
just,
same way
I,
with Punk, dude. It's hilarious. But no, 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 no. Like I said, off camera, on camera, don't matter. I will lay money down and say that that's going to be the main event. And I know the Royal Rumble, um, but hey man, that's just my opinion. And I've been known to be wrong 100 times, and I've lost a lot of bets.
well, that's what happens when you're
So,
a Drew McIntyre fan.
oh, is this PG?
I'm saying you're the one who's wearing Drew McIntyre plates and a Drew McIntyre shirt at Monday Night Raw. That wasn't me.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
I
I'm gonna tell you, Becky Lynch cost me that. By the way, I don't even know why I'm still her fan, but yeah.
mean, I believe the children. Oh, you know what? I ain't gonna do that. I love you too much to just straight shit on you
No,
on
no,
our
no. Here, I
podcast.
want to hear what you got to say, bro.
I don't
Say
want
it.
to. I mean, most people just call you a simp, but that's
Oh, okay. Shit.
I mean, I got to stop. I'm going to get us canceled. I'm going to get us canceled if you let me let loose.
It's an unrated show, bro. We're all good.
All right.
So we are, you know, clicking the not made for kids button. So this is not showing up on kids YouTube, by the way.
No shit.
Yeah, no shit. So you could say fuck, cunt, puss. It doesn't matter. Like we're
You're turning into me. My plan is working.
we're we're good. But anyway, the ending of that match pissed me off. It pissed me off so bad because I knew the minute that Seth leaned against those ropes with the door open, I knew what was coming. And it fucking killed me because I didn't want it so bad. I
That's because
did
you
not
can't
want.
stay off the internet.
Actually, you know who fucking kept bleeding that shit into my mind?
Roach.
Roach. Chris Roach. And it would not leave, and it happened. And I kept telling myself over and over and over, this is not happening, not happening, to the point where he was actually asking for a bet. And if Punk won, I didn't actually place any bet. Thank God. If Punk won, he was going to lose. Obviously, if Roman showed, I was going to lose. And fucking goddamn it, if I wouldn't have lost because Roman fucking showed up. I should have known better. Anyway,
I bottom line is we got some sort of Seth versus Roman versus Punk, whether it be two of them, all three of them, special guest refereeing, or something's gonna go down.
It's a triple. It's a triple threat. No hands. Yeah, that's what's
I
happening.
mean, you never know. Punk may fucking tear his shoulder again. Hey, Roman could just easily tear his. Seth could, have a bad back.
Or tear a hamstring,
Yeah,
or a quad.
Yeah. I still stand by. I cannot get the wishy-washy shit of we want Rock and Roman, and then we're going to ignore it again. We can't. I can't. And this is again. It's a traditional Roman Reigns problem for me. I can't say that I don't appreciate what Roman's done. That'd be a bold-faced lie because it has gotten so much emotion out of everyone, to include me and you and Roach, good, bad, or indifferent. And the thing that gets me though is it's the IWC and it's the attention span of the average wrestling fan. We want Roman. We want Roman. They get Roman, and then they forget about whatever happened before. Do I think CM Punk needs a WrestleMania match? Yes. As much as I'm not a fan of CM Punk, the son of a bitch draws money. You could have put CM Punk against Chad Gable. We'd have watched it. You could have put CM Punk against R-Truth. We'd have watched it. You could have put CM Punk and Akira Tozawa in a match and we'd have watched it. But to bring Roman Reigns back and for some reason have to include Seth Rollins, all because of an elimination in the Royal Rumble, like we get it. Seth and Roman don't like each other. I wouldn't like each other either if you hit me in the back with a chair. But give me Punk and Roman, and so be it. Don't hype all this shit up. Don't sit here and tell me that Roman has to have a main event. Don't sit here and say that it wouldn't be WrestleMania without Roman Reigns, because I distinctly remember WrestleManias without Roman Reigns, and I distinctly remember a bunch of us going, fuck, I wish Roman Reigns wasn't at WrestleMania, or at least in the main event. And again, can't take it away from him. He has main evented all the WrestleManias. He needs a main event. Roman Reigns is now in the category of Edge. Shut the fuck up. Start pushing people over.
Yep. I'm with you 100%.
If you are as big and bad as you say you are, but you ain't gonna show up on my TV, if you ain't gonna show up but except for big payouts, start pushing people over. And if you don't like it, take your ass to the other company.
No, I'm with you.
And you really want to piss somebody off? Here's the hottest of hot takes. He wouldn't make it in AEW. Because he couldn't get his way. He would be asked to do things he didn't want to do.
I think that he I think he could make it in AEW, but his style would have to be entirely fucking different. That's it.
Joe would
So
know
he would have to go back to the big dog, or he would have to go back to, just Shield days Roman Reigns in order to make that happen. But that's rapid only. So
all in all, not a bad Raw. I'm not gonna.
No.
I don't think it was the greatest Raw we've had since we started this podcast.
No, absolutely not. I don't. But I do think that it was good enough to start a not bi-weekly, sorry, 2-a-week podcast.
Yeah, I mean we're sitting here over 54 minutes. Absolutely, I can get down with that.
Yeah, we do have Roach who wants to insert an opinion. So, are you ready for that?
I was born ready.
You was born ready. All right. Well, I'm gonna dial him up really quick, and we're gonna see what he has to say.
Well, he's got some response from the last podcast, and then he's gonna have to ride our ass about Roman.
Yeah. What's up, man? How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm just chilling. I'm watching NXT right now, actually.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. There's some pretty good matches happening on NXT, right?
Yeah, dude. I'm a little bit behind on it, but man, the first match of the Parties versus Fraxium, and I've been hearing a lot about Fraxium, and I'm already bought in on them, dude. They were awesome. Roxanne, Perez, and Jordan Grace had a banger match, and we got a Big E special going right now with Little Bethany and Moose. It's pretty fun.
Hell yeah. Well, welcome back to No Gimmicks, dude.
Thank you, man. I'm glad to be back on. Been having a good time. Listening to y'all. Had a good time being on it a couple weeks ago. So glad to be back on, man.
Yeah, and we got JT here ready for the Roach opinion.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah,
Hey,
I
man. And
saw
again,
that. I noticed in the last episode, I got a little bit of a, oh, I was wrong, and I immediately said, what the hell? Like,
yeah. So and I said it in the last pod, absolutely love having you step in, take the reins, not the Roman, because that would suck. Well, you probably enjoy taking Roman, but we'll leave that joke for another time. Yeah, always a pleasure. So I'm curious what's on your mind, and this will be interesting getting all three of us on. So let's have it. What do you got to fire off first, big guy?
well, man, I mean, the first thing was, I was wrong, but y'all were wrong about, Seth and Punk and how that was going down and what was going to happen with all that. I told Brady last week it's going to be the triple threat.
Is that what I said
And,
you were
it's
wrong
pretty
about?
obvious that's where it's going to be.
Yeah. So going back, we've talked in Chris had talked about the triple threat, and then I'm just over here steaming about it, getting all pissed off, and and then we've been back and forth, and I even Phil over here is like, "Where's Roman?" Well, Roman's showing up for a fucking triple threat. That's
It's
what
all
he's
Phil's
doing.
fault.
It's all fucking Phil, dude. It's all fucking Phil. So, yeah, that's I was fucking wrong, and I even mentioned to JT about our possible bet situation, and I'm thinking, God, that I didn't actually place a bet last night because I would have fucking lost.
Yeah, we never got the terms worked out on that, so we'll have to figure something else out for Mania weekend.
Yeah, and it's not going to include me wearing anything to Monday Night Raw or putting my fucking belt plates on. That's not what's happening. So, anyway, yeah, man. Well, I just want to let you know first and foremost that fuck Roman Reigns for what he did last night. I'm extremely upset. I cannot stand what happened. Roman has no business in that triple threat match. Zero business. It needs to be Punk versus Seth. That's the end of the day. Fucking Roman, no sir. Why?
Okay,
What is the purpose?
first off, here's the thing. I rewatched that match, the end of that match, like a couple times because it was beautiful. It pissed you off. Punk lost. You sent me a Punk flipping me off meme. I got you immediately to say, hey, that guy's a loser.
Yeah.
And, it's true. So, JT, anything that will piss Brady off is a good time, right?
Oh yeah, 1000%. I live for those moments.
Fuck both of you, by the way. Yeah. All right. All right. Explain to me, Chris. Explain. Why, in your opinion, is this good? Like, why do we need Roman in this match?
So here's my thing about it is really and truly my interest. And Brady, how long have I been saying I wanted this? And this isn't even exactly it, but maybe we get more of it down the line. I want a Roman and Seth full on program. They had that absolute banger little 3-week build of a feud to Royal Rumble that even though everything else about that show sucks, that was amazing. And I'm so jealous that you got to be there for that.
Robin and Living Color.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there's so much history there, and they have kept them apart, other than just a few things here and there. I want a full-on Roman and Seth feud that is, really getting into the two of them, in all their history and everything. What Seth did last year at Mania, even though it cost my Tribal Chief the title, that story is just so good, and Seth's always been able to get on Roman's nerves. That's just a good time. But so it gets that going, and maybe we get to see more of them later. Is what I want. but I think it's, just, I don't know what else they're going to do. Like, the reality is Roman's got to do something big. It's Roman. Whether y'all can say whatever you want about him, but he's got to do something big. And if he's not going to be in one of the title matches, I don't know what else they would do with him. He's got to be on the show. So
What happened to Roman Rock?
Rock ain't going to do it, dude. This is, I mean, the thing with Rock is always just whether or not, if he's going to be there and be able to train for a match, he's going to do it. But I think what did I say last time, Brady? It was like if he's got a $50 million movie he's going to film, up to the month up to WrestleMania, he's gonna do that. That's just the way it is, and that's the reason we never got it 2 years ago. It's just his schedule. If he can't come back and commit to it, he's not going to do it. And I'm
That
not a
sounded
fan of
like
John
he's going to
Cena
be there
filming
for
matches
John Cena at
versus
WrestleMania.
Cody. Sorry, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it sounds like The Rock's going to be there with John Cena for WrestleMania against Cody.
Okay, but I mean, he doesn't have to train to go out there and throw a couple rock bottoms and hit Cody with a strap. He didn't. He's not. That's my thing. He's not going to come do a match unless he can come, because the rear was last year. He had a good solid 2 months of training. For that, so he's just not going to go out there with a match unless he's got time to train for it.
So what you're saying is Roman doesn't have the ability to carry a match by himself. Because even this year at WrestleMania, it's got to be a triple threat. So Roman's not good enough to do it on his own again. Again, he can't do it on his own.
Dude, all right. Let's draw this back. What did you say about CM Punk not carrying a match without Roman? He can't main event without Roman. It's the same fucking thing. That shit's fucking awesome. I love it. I love it. No, but here's the deal, man. All joking aside, I mean, I see that. I do see that entirely. If The Rock can't commit to 2 to 3 months of solid training, so he's not gassed in 10 minutes. I mean, I can see it. But at the end of the day, man, Rock and Roman should have happened. We should have gotten that already. If not, this year would have been it. I just don't see the final boss getting another year worth of traction. I just don't. I mean, he could recreate himself. But
Well,
I think now.
I think something all of us can agree on is the face heel switch on the back of The Rock has driven us all crazy since he's come back. I love having him on the screen. It does my little Attitude Era heart proud. But to that point, right? Like, I don't know what to do, and it causes a little bit of pain. Because if we were going to get Roman Rock, I do agree that this would have been the year to do it, regardless. And I hear you, 1000% agree with a $50 million movie versus 2 nights. But at the same time, I don't want WrestleMania to become synonymous with a Rock 2 to 3 month appearance. I guess that's where part of me comes from, because it's like, well, he did it last year. Now he's doing it this year.
Yeah.
What's going to happen next year? Are we going to get Roman Rock next year now?
That's back to my point. Like, even if we go the final boss this year, that shit's not going to work next year. In my opinion, it's not. He's gonna have to either recreate himself again, or he's just gonna have to go and just be on the board of member of a board and be done. I don't see Rock coming out and doing anything next year of any importance.
Now I'll throw both. I'll throw both of.
Storyline wise, sorry, go ahead.
I said I'm willing to concede and throw you both a bone that The Rock somehow gets involved in this triple threat. Not like directly involved, but the story gets spun to where Roman fails to beat either Seth or CM Punk at Mania, and then The Rock calls him out, and we get a SummerSlam build to where we get, head of the table, or the, tribal chief, if you will, moniker to go to SummerSlam.
Well, and this is the first 2-night SummerSlam, and they're going to have to do something extraordinary to make that shit happen. I mean, they're not going to be able to do just 2 championship matches and move on. It's going to have to be a spectacle like WrestleMania.
And
Yeah, for sure.
And Roach, you had a thought, and my thing is, whether it's The Rock or Roman Reigns, we either need to kill off the final boss or kill off the tribal chief and give them both a direction to go. Let Rock ride out to the sunset or give Roman Reigns a path somewhere. Because again, to me, this just seems like laziness throwing him in this triple threat. Now, again, there's 39 days left, so there's a lot of chance to build. But again, the only thing that helps that build in my mind is Paul Heyman, and then this natural feud between Seth and Roman.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say is the Paul Heyman of all. To me, I'm not worried about it seemingly thrown in or any of it because they've already got some history of Punk and Roman with regards to Paul. The stuff at Survivor Series and Seth. I mean, to me, I think they got several weeks to get some good promos and advance the story along. I'm not worried about it. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be a real good build because I mean, Punk on fire promo wise. I'll give him that. That last week's promo was great, much better than a Heat Fest at the beginning of the show. And the Paul Heyman of it all, I'll watch Paul Heyman promos every week. So the story's going to be good, I'm sure, and the match will obviously be a banger. And I think it's good though. But as far as The Rock, my thought was, even if I hope he's not, I hope he is around more because one of the things y'all talked about a couple days ago was like Cody. What's Cody going to do afterwards? And to me, and you talked about like face champions that they're better when they're chasing and stuff like that. And it got me thinking actually when y'all were talking about that, like when do we actually ever have good face champions that are interesting? And it's usually when they have some kind of authority figure to go against. Whether it's McMahon or the authority.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan. I think that's when they're. And so if Rock, he doesn't have to be wrestling. He can just do some satellite promos or show up, every couple weeks or whatever. I think he could really commit and make that interesting for Cody. And to me, at this point, I think him and Cody's the better story. But that's, who knows if it'll happen to a match. But even if he's just there effing up Cody's life, as the final boss for a year or something, whatever it is, I think that'll make Cody's, time on top over there more interesting personally.
Okay. Answer me this. Is Cena going to beat Cody at WrestleMania?
Absolutely. 17 times, baby.
Do you think that's actually going to happen though? Like, I mean, let's set aside the 17 time. And I know that's what it's about. I get it. But
He's got to get through Ric Flair. Ric Flair said he's got to go through him.
Ric Flair be training, dog. He is he's lifting the weights. He's running on a treadmill.
Getting drunk and cussing out people in pizza parlor. I'll go away from that. I could say a lot about that, but we don't need to get into that. But no, I mean, Cena. I think this heel turn is too big for them not to capitalize on it.
So
now the one thing that I think maybe it's not, and maybe it's not at Mania, because hey man, if glass shatters, I don't see them having Stone Cold show up and Cody losing still.
Yeah. Okay. The likelihood of that happening, I mean, I'm going to give that a 2 out of 10 chance at this point.
Of Stone Cold showing up?
Yeah. 2 out of 10.
Huh. He's talking about it. I mean, we'll see. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I think if it were going to happen, I mean, and I understand all the circumstances, but last year would have been the time for the glass to shatter.
Oh God, that would have been amazing.
So, and this year it being halfway expected, I don't know, but if Cena were to beat Cody, what path are we taking? Are we going to have Cena in a Cody feud until SummerSlam or Money in the Bank? Like what is your opinion on what could go or where it's going to go from here?
Man, that's definitely I don't know. I mean, it will seem obvious if they do a rematch, and maybe it is just a 1 month reign or something. But I don't know, man. Well, that's where I just don't know what they're going to do with it for Cena, because full on, it's the nostalgia in me that wants to see him get 17 and all that. I don't think he needs to have a long reign at all, though. And he's not. But I can see I can see a CM Punk thing and them revisiting that, or actually, no. I forgot. I thought about this the other day. Orton. I think Orton would be a good, feud.
I think Orton would be a great feud, and with him just showing back up at Elimination Chamber, I mean, what's next for Orton anyway?
Yeah, I mean, Orton didn't he talk some crap to Cena? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he said he rock bottom.
Yeah.
Yes, that was great. So yeah,
I will say,
just when I remembered that right there, I'd say that's a pretty darn likely. It doesn't have to be a long feud, but that'd be a fun, 1 month little feud or something.
I think we would all be cheated for John Cena's retirement tour if we didn't get another Cena and Punk, another Cena and Orton, and a sprinkle a few others. But I mean, and that's, I don't think we need a Cena and Roman. But those breadcrumbs were laid last year at WrestleMania when Cena showed up to try and help Cody and got taken out. And again, going back to a gateway potentially for Rock and Roman is now Roman's got to get through Cena.
I guess in my mind, I'm not thinking that that's in their plans. In my mind, I think if Rock has come back for an actual match at this point, I think it will be Cody. But they may just decide that that's the bigger match they can't pass up. So I don't know, man. We'll see. But everything I'm seeing, I don't see Roman in an immediate future with The Rock at all right now.
Yeah. Oh, like I said, I mean, I don't think that it doesn't have to pan out immediately, like I was saying, Again, just tying the Cena and Rock, because I honestly would hate to see this Cena and Rock relationship that took the world by shock and awe just end at Mania. I want to see this continue, like you said, and whether we get a Cena with a 17-time title run, or we find another face to chase the championship and then have that, Daniel Bryan and Authority and Austin McMahon chase and argument and fight. There's all these other potentials, and I think that ties back to what I said a few weeks ago and what Raw and SmackDown last week did. Is the truth is we as lifelong wrestling fans really don't even know anymore. It's a crapshoot every week at who's going to be wearing the Drew McIntyre plates to the next Monday Night Raw. I don't know it's going to be Brady, but I mean,
I don't know if you got to see my little prediction I did when I did do the show a couple weeks ago. But I mean, to me, I see a scenario of the rumor is Rock threw up 3 fingers, then threw up 2 fingers with the neck, and so maybe there's one more person. Or some people maybe think even 2 more, but I think maybe one more person. And to me, I said that they're not going to end Cena's whole year with him being healed. It doesn't need to even be that long. But a reason for him to get face again is if he gets betrayed at some point. And I can see someone else joining up with The Rock, and maybe even he does it at Mania for all I know. But who my thought is Brady's favorite superstar, Drew McIntyre.
No, I would rather them take
all right,
Jacob
well,
Fatu.
that's all I need to hear from Chris Roach. You have a great.
Rock and Drew are boys, obviously, and if Rock, named Drew the future since Cena's going to be gone, at the end of the year. To me, it makes just an absolute hell of a lot of sense, and it would piss Brady off as an added bonus. So,
always a bonus.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys. This this has been a good episode. Glad that you were able to join us, Chris. Do you have any other thoughts or opinions before we cut this show?
No, man. Did you already talk about Raw, I guess?
Yeah. We talked about Raw and and I've made the decision that I'm no longer going to talk about Becky Lynch until she actually returns. And my thought process, and I'll just get your opinion really quickly. My thought process was during the Io Sky and Bianca, if Becky was going to show, man, that would have been the time, like straight up. And I just don't see a way for her to join WrestleMania at this point, unless she shows up at WrestleMania and costs somebody a title, or she shows up the night after Mania. That's the Raw after Mania.
I bet she would get slotted in with, a mid-card thing.
And that's what JT was saying. Yeah, I mean, it may be just a mid-card situation where she goes and tries to elevate that. But I think we're running out of time at this point. But maybe not.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah. So
Lord knows the mid-card women's could use some help, man. That's something that I've been thinking a lot about, like just possible things they could do to kind of shake that up. A lot of it involves some NXT call-ups that are probably happening in the next couple months, anyways. But definitely need a little bit of pick-me-up, at least on the Raw side. I love Lyra, but they need someone that stands out more as far as a character to really help elevate that title.
100%. Cool. Well, hey man, thanks for joining us and give us a little bit of your time this evening. And yeah, man, we'll catch you down the road. Oh, go ahead.
Did y'all do it off the top rope already?
No, I mean, do you want to join us for the off the top rope question?
Absolutely, man.
All right. Well, this is the Brady week, and Brady, JT was on Sunday.
Kinda.
So, putting all bullshit and knowledge of what's happening aside, my off the top rope question, and I'll ask both of you this. You walk into a bar and you see Austin, you see Taker, you see Vince, and you see Dusty Rhodes all sitting at the bar. Who are you buying a shot for? Who are you ignoring? Who are you sitting down and having an hour-long conversation with? And why?
You said buy a shot,
Dusty Rhodes.
shot, ignore, and conversation. Okay.
So, JT, what you got, brother?
I'm buying Undertaker a shot because he's probably the only one I want to shoot Jack Daniels with, because he's the only person I've met in my life that has the same amount of energy for that beverage that I do. And for listeners, whoever, don't come for me. I'm not claiming to be world premiere on Jack Daniels, but his outward love is the only one that seems to match my energy. So I'm doing a shot. Conversation, I got to go with my man, Steve. Obvious reasons. That's a no-brainer. Just to say I did and could. Ignore. It sounds like we have to ignore two at this point, because you gave me 4 options and only a shot to.
Yeah.
I mean, I would ignore Vince.
Straight up.
Nothing against him, and again, it's just of those individuals, right? Like, if I had to pick one to like kick out of the bar and ignore, like not even be in my presence, I'm getting rid of Vince. And that's just my own personal bias for the talent. That's my personal bias. I could probably talk with Steve Austin until I die, and I would never be able to express myself appropriately.
I gotcha. Cool. Well, I like that answer. Go ahead, Chris. What do you got? Do you need me to repeat the question?
No, I mean, so the ignore is easy. Vince, no desire to ever see or hear anything about him ever again.
No. Take your bias away. I said no bullshit. Forget that ever happened.
Okay, you're right. Even then, he's probably a pretentious ass, so still don't want to talk to him. But no, dude, between Stone Cold or the Taker, I mean, I don't know what. mean, if it was happened to be, you only got to actually have a conversation with one. I'm trying to think, Taker, man. I enjoy I'm still like blown away at all him giving all the interviews and all the stories he has. It's I have a really good time any of his stuff he does ever since he finally decided to actually talk.
Yeah.
So I think I'd like to have a conversation with him. Stone Cold. On top of that, how would you not want to drink with Stone Cold Steve Austin? So
100%. No, I'm with you. So I'm going to flip the coin a little bit here because I see a pattern. I want to drink with Stone Cold, obviously, but I want to have an hour-long conversation with Vince. I want to get inside his head and figure out what made him the businessman he really was off screen. I don't want to hear what he has to say to camera. I want to hear what he has to say live to me. You know what I mean? Because that's a different situation. When you're talking to somebody live and on camera and it's being recorded, that's going to the world. I want to hear what he has to say beyond that. So
yeah, if there was ever an actual possibility of a time when he isn't just really anytime he ever does any kind of interview whatsoever, he's in character and tries to So if there was a chance to have an actual he's on what is it, sodium pentothal or whatever, where he can tell the truth and be himself, then yeah, that would be something before all the stuff. So yeah,
and
but yeah, like I said, Taker to me is just I enjoyed every one of his interviews he's been doing over the last few years. He just seemed like a cool guy.
Well, whenever JT and I went and saw the one dead man show, that was fucking cool.
Sit down, jackass.
Yeah, Undertaker called JT a jackass. I thought that was yeah. So JT, why don't you go ahead and tell that story, bro? Why don't you say you don't have to like get down into detail, but
Look, I'm not wearing it now, but on a few of the pods, I've worn my Georgia stuff. And the Undertaker's a diehard Texas fan, and some idiot in the crowd screamed "Roll Tide" because Alabama fans be like that. And that got Boo's and Undertaker's attention. And the Undertaker said something about we all know who's better, and I was like, "Go Bulldogs, sick 'em!" And he looks at me and he hits me with the Texas horns. I go, "Yeah, that means 2 losses to Georgia," and he was pissed.
That's an awesome thing to say. I saw the jackass like Taker.
yeah. That straight up happened, dude. It was phenomenal. And there was no amount of money I would not have spared, I mean, a dime if I would have had my phone to record that. Like, dude, that would have been a hit on YouTube for sure. But yeah.
I think getting a genuine middle finger from Stone Cold might be the only thing better than that.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So that's the off top rope question. Always fun. That was kind of a little bit different one, but I enjoyed it. And yeah, man, that pretty much wraps this one up. Chris, man, thank you for joining us. And yeah, man, we'll catch you down the road.
All right, man. I'm about to watch the main event on NXT, so I bet it's going to be a good one. Y'all should definitely start watching it. I'm been missing out on it for a while, and I can say it's probably the Hypomania season, but man, I'm a fan. This is a good show.
Oh yeah,
some good stuff going through there. So
yeah, well, it's just a lot. It's a lot to watch, but
it's a lot, yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, definitely give me a heads up on the next show, man. We see me and JT can pitch you off again. So
shit. All right, brother. Well, we'll holler at you later.
all right, later, man.
See ya.
be good, brother. Thanks.
Later.
Yeah, always.
All right,
It's always a pleasure to interact with him. He's such a good dude, and I just. And again, anytime we get a chance to just rub it in on you, we're going to take advantage of it.
100%. Like, and I enjoy it. I love it. You guys are, one of the bright parts of my day.
Yeah, choice words, my brother.
But yeah, hey man, this has been a really, really good episode. I've enjoyed it, and I'm glad that we've, kind of made the commitment to do more than one podcast, at least through WrestleMania season. We'll get through WrestleMania and then just kind of see where it goes from here. It's pretty normal for it to start quieting down after Mania until Money in the Bank and that stuff starts rolling in. But other than that, man, yeah, great show, and it's been good talking to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And as always, got to give a shout out to listeners out there, everyone tuning in, sharing, making this thing possible. So again, as always, go find us on those socials. Get us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You already found us on YouTube. Like I said, we're still trying to get to the other podcast outlets, but we don't do this for money. We don't do this for fame. We do it for the fun. And I think that this has been a great outlet for you and I both. And again, a chance to get away from the television screen.
Reality.
Yeah, in reality, the chance, nothing against our loved ones and families, right? But this is how we decompress. And super thankful for that opportunity and the audience who takes time to listen to us run our suck. So as always, thank you to them. But yeah, man, it's again, snapshot in time. It's a Tuesday, the 11th, March 11th, and I look forward to jumping on this thing again, whether it's right after SmackDown or we have to do another Sunday morning record. So
yeah. Well, I'm going to sign off with this. Fuck Roman Reigns.
Oh, yeah. Big facts.
And also,
fuck them kids. Oh, God. You're going to. Oh, I love that you've become evil. All right.
All right, brother. Hey, man. It's been awesome. And yeah, I'll catch you down the road.
Yeah, man. We'll holler at you. Later.